Always written instructions make value and add value than giving oral instructions. Always listen carefully. It teaches a lot of lesson. Only when you listen carefully, you can communicate well. I'm a hardcore Bangalorean, born, bred, and brewed in Bangalore.
Hey, you are listening to Dream 100 Business Show podcast with Savita Hosamani. We at Dream 100 Business Show are on a mission to help business owners to move to the next level in their personal and business journey by helping them to make smarter decisions. In this show, we decode what goes on in the minds of successful business owners during challenging times and how they converted their dreams into profitable products or services. Business means struggle. Why do you want to struggle every day? We do not have a business background, and moreover, there is no consistent income in business. Going to a job and get paid consistently is always safe. You can also travel and enjoy life. This was my parents' perspective towards entrepreneurship. But when I looked at second generation entrepreneurs whose parents never forced them to study, saying that they always have a business to fall back upon, it would always inspire me to do business in spite of my parents' objection. In this episode, we decode the business life of a second generation entrepreneur, TK Chandramouli, who took over the printing business from his father and uncle. He continued to run this business for over 3 decades. In the process, he started his own coaching industry and ultimately found his own ground, and he soared. From printing to coaching, how did this journey happen? Let's hear it out from him right here, right now. So let's get started. First and foremost, let's understand what is the feeling that goes on in the minds of people when they are asked to join the family business. Here we have TK Chandramouli stating his feelings when he was asked to join the printing business.
See, I have been a very slow learner and I've been a very ordinary student all my life. So even after college, it's the same thing. So there was no inspiration, no motivation because I had no other choice. I would never get work anywhere. So my father said, join the printing industry because he was running a press. He says, if you think you can learn hands-on, it would be much better. There are a lot of courses in printing, of course, but he suggested that I join the press. I take it hands-on, learn exactly what's happening because obviously, my folks knew that that's the way that I learned.
Second generation entrepreneurs have a fallback option. And thus, Chandramouli was saved from thinking what should be the next step in his life. So now, after joining the business, the next question that arises is, what was his role in the family business as a beginner? How do you think he was treated?
Exactly. I never used to talk to customers. What I used to do is we had a manager at that point of time, and my father and my uncle were managing. So whenever some new customers come, obviously my father and my uncle would love to introduce my son, my nephew, or whatever it is. So I used to come and stand there with folded hands, like any other office boy used to stand. No, just stand there like an office boy. I was a glorified postman. So get this, I'll get this. Get that, get that.
Most of the second generation successful entrepreneurs also start as a beginner, and sometimes the treatment might be much worse than a beginner also. But they face the brunt and they learn through the tricks of the trade and start progressing. The next question that we have is, how did he learn the business process?
So I just stand there and listen to customers, what they say, what are the instructions they give, what are the kind of talks that happen between the customer and the entrepreneur. That's my father and my uncle. Then after that, when they leave, the manager was called, either the compositor or the binder or somebody was called. They were given the instructions. They were written instructions. And that I realized, always written instructions make value and add value than giving oral instructions.
One point to be noted here is his observation skills and the ability to learn from everyone was what enabled him to progress in the business. So now let's look at what made him to think of another avenue of income when he already had a running printing business.
But well, I had to look at Avera News basically to be gainfully occupied. This was intellectually occupied, yes, but gains were not there. No? So I had to look at some other opportunity to see how I can earn a little extra money.
Many businesses are not on a profitable mode or on a highly profitable mode as they are perceived. This is very much evident here. And this is what made him to look at other avenues of generating income. So when he steps into this next avenue of business, was this business also fulfilling and generating revenue? And how did he expand? Let's listen to what he says.
Right. So that's exactly started again from the printing press only. Then I have so many customers. There were some corporate customers. Then there were customers in the transport industry. There were customers in the other printers. Used to be my I used to print for some other printers when they had a problem. They used to come to me. So I categorically compartmentalized each one of them. I said, okay, for corporate customer, this is what it is. You know more of English, but unfortunately, you don't know how to communicate. Please give these instructions. This is what you do. Then I went to the hotel industry. Then I knew the how the hotel industry works. There, the training is much different. It's more of, you can never get angry over there. It's all, always everything to be received, because every time the customer comes there, they're angry, whatever it is. And then I looked at the hospital industry. We were doing some work for some clinics and all that. All these doctors used to come, we used to do their prescription pads, clinics, reports, all that we used to do. Then I found out the hospital industry, people who are employed there are always sometimes, unfortunate. They get irritated. You ask another question, they get irritated. Then I took that sector and said hospitality industry. And the hospital industry, everybody come there as sick people. Everybody is not happy people. So, but you have to be happy and smile at them to welcome them because your hospital is providing them services. So, hospital industry, hospitality industry. Then, of course, I used to love, my wine and the beer and all that. So then I knew how to pour the beer, how to pour the wine, how to drink wine, how to show the wine bottle, how to pour. All these things happen. And I said, boss, I know this also. So your hospitality industry, I will be helpful not only in telling them how to speak to customers, but also how to pour the beer, how to pour the wine, how to hold the bottle, how to, all these things I'll do. That makes sense. Okay, you come and train us. Each one had a different compartment. And I knew a lot of people who were below the rung workers. So I had to communicate with them in the local language. People said, yes, please come. Everybody talks in English. People cannot understand. So I went there talking to them in Kannada, Tamil, Hindi, Telugu, whatever, and made sure the workers are working, how to own the company rather than say you're working for the company. And that's how I started. And each one was a division. Each one is separate. Hospital industry, hospitality industry, the corporate industry. Then, of course, the students. I had a lot of students from the printing industry, Shrishti School of Design, National Institute of Design, a lot of designing students and all that. So there also they needed, because they had one paper for printing. So with printing, I also taught them how to communicate. So that was another category. So that's how I compartmentalized each one of them and made my own modules, all based on the practical experience that I had in the office with my customers.
The point that we have to note here is he was actually solving a real-time problem which was available in the business. Since his solutions were excellent, he was welcomed with open arms, even though there was a change of business. And if you want to know the details of how he managed both the businesses, then listen to the 37th episode, From Printing Industry to Coaching Industry, with serial entrepreneur TK Chandramouli on Dream 100 Business Show. Keep reinventing yourself every now and then. Your conscious efforts of investing in yourself will definitely help in building you into a beautiful personality. If you are a person who cares about your growth and you feel that it will help any of your friends' growth as well, then do care to share this episode with all the people whom you want to listen, learn, and implement. For real time interaction with real people, click on the link in the show notes and join the Telegram group to connect and interact with other listeners. We are always waiting to hear from you. Thank you so much for being such a wonderful listener.